could actually bring that over there a little bit more and have it going how we want it to go. So we are multicasting right now. What's up, everybody? Lady Holly, what's up? Listen, I am live on my YouTube channel, which may be a better spot for most people. I can't remember. So I'm on Instagram with you guys. I'm on TikTok with you guys. I'm on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook with you guys. When you join the live, make sure you type in so I know y'all there. What's up, y'all? Nina, what's up, y'all? So tonight we're gonna have a discussion, man. I was speaking with my homie Mike, who goes on the Renaissance. You get out of here. This is an adult conversation. You got to go. All right, Clobert. But what up, Kiki? What up, everybody? What up, Claire? Saginaw in the building, Flint in the building. I see you. But we're gonna have a discussion. What up, Elena? We're having a discussion because very often people think that they can date someone who is a creative or somebody who's hustling or trying to excel. What up, Tammy? What up, Louise? Charlena, what's up? Yep. What up, Renee? And it's a difficult process. Happy holidays to everybody who's joining right now. We're not going to dive in just yet. We'll get into it in a minute. That's what's up. Yep. What's up, Harbor? A lot of people haven't seen me go live on YouTube in a while. On Instagram in a while. And it's because Instagram had banned me from going live for over a year. Yeah, I was unable to go live for a year. And I can't remember what I did to get them to unlock it so I could go live. But I'm here now. If you're on my Twitch, my YouTube, or Facebook, make sure you guys type so I know you came in live. I can see everybody coming in live here on TikTok. To everybody who's here on TikTok, I have officially logged out. What up, Bryson? I've officially logged out of my Dwight Skrapp Reynolds TikTok account. I will not be logging back onto that account for 2 weeks at least. I'm going to give them time to, I've got too many followers for them to be playing me like that. I have 77,000 followers, and that's not cool. Yeah, good to see you, Bryson. What up, Foxy? So for those of you who are following my YouTube channel, y'all can join it right now. What up, Crystal? I see you. Jared, what's up? Crystal, my heart, I got your message. I get it. You know what I mean? I get it. But my heart goes out to you and your family right now. I know you're dealing with it. You know what I'm saying? But you've always been super dope. And, when you've been here, and I'm glad to see you, and I'm glad to see, we're going to have a conversation I think you might enjoy that might take your mind off of things. You know what I'm saying? But if I could redirect everybody that's on my Instagram, what up, Duan, and my TikTok, what up, Afro Latina, what up, Stacy? Tell her in the hi. Stacy, I don't speak that. Oh, Stacy said hello, Miss Chris. Listen, y'all can everybody can come over to my YouTube channel right now. It's youtube.com, ICGREEN1, and and chop it up. I don't know what you were saying. You know what I mean? But tonight's conversation is going to be really cool. I think it'll add a lot of insight and help people understand what position you should be in and kind of how you should manage. You know what I'm saying? It's been a minute, Bryce. Indeed. Like I said, they had me locked out of Instagram going live, and you know how much I like to speak and talk to the people. Handbag designer, I see you. As we cultivate and kind of shift everybody over to our YouTube channel. What up, Jared? To our YouTube channel so we can get this conversation started. I'll give you guys a minute to do that. Listen, also, I know you guys on my TikTok, you guys like to gift and do different things like that. There's an opportunity on YouTube to do what's called super chats and super claps and different things like that. You know what I mean? Where you guys can participate in spending some social digital currency. I can say that because Bryson was there when that term was developed and nurtured and grew into what it did. What up, Sandra? I see you. Didi Lo, what up, Didi Lou? Hazel, I see you. Clarissa, I see you. Yep. I'm waiting for everybody to kind of shift over to YouTube, you guys. It's youtube.com, ICGREEN1. It's IC Green 1. YouTube.com, IC Green 1. And then I'll start recording. By the way, I'm also recording some of this as a podcast as well. so that we can have a conversation. So you know, for you, so you can go back and listen to it and check it out. What up, Jennifer? Yeah, man, time flies. It's like 4 years ago, almost 5. Exactly, like 2020. No, it's like in 2021 is when it all started happening. Studio Gangster, I see you. Yeah, Holly, and I see you. You have an echo on YouTube. Hold on, let me see. What about? I see what it is. Okay, how about now? No echo now, right? Thanks for saying that. Listen, y'all got to be my ears. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't. You know, I don't know what's going on the other side of the volume. You know what I'm saying? But for those of you who are joining me now on TikTok, we are live on YouTube, Twitch, and my Facebook channel. So when you guys type in, depending on which one you're coming from, I can see you guys type in where you're typing from. Hester, what up? The YouTube is ICGREEN and the numeric 1. So IC green and 1. You'll see it says live on it. There it is. Afro Latina just posted it right now. YouTube.com. It's all one word though. Do Afro Latina, go ICGREEN and the numeric 1, like all one word. When you do the dots, that throw people off. What up, RG? Yeah. So I just needed you to say it. Okay, so Jared, what I use right now, this is the Sony SM78, SMB78, really good microphone. It's by Rhodes. Matter of fact, I'm sorry. No, the mic is by Sony, but I'm using a complete Rode setup. Like I could actually just use the Rode RODE setup that I have. I'm using the Rodecaster Pro 2, and the microphone is going into there, which is also being fed into my iPhone 16 Pro Max and into my computer, and that's how you guys hear it. But I have the I could use the monitor where I just put it on my shirt, and I have the microphone. Each is recordable as well, so if I was out in the field, I could record with it as well. Usually this stuff is in my bio too. If you look at when I post these videos, Jared, it'll say when you look in the videos, it'll say the equipment that I use. You know what I'm saying? So you can have that available to you. So I'm going to log off of my Instagram account because Instagram engagement is weird anyway. What up, Latif? I see you. Sakari, I see you. Yeah, I'm going to log off here. Yeah, she said the background be lit. Yeah, because you can see more of the room, you know what I'm saying? And the way I have the camera set up, it's a little blurry right now in the back. So, you know what I'm saying? What up, Davina? Davina, I'm live on YouTube right now. So I'm signing off. No, I'm signing off of, I'll stay on TikTok for a minute. But I am going to sign off on TikTok and just be solely on YouTube. That way we can direct our attention in one place. But Davina and 22, I'm actually getting off of Instagram and I'm going straight over to YouTube. For those of you who are here. Yeah, Jared, I'll do a walkthrough. It's overdue for me to do like a walkthrough on what I use for my setup. I got to do like a setup video for everybody who wants to get into, audio, any kind of audio setup. So I'll do that. I'm logging off of Instagram right now. So Instagram is ending. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to YouTube because I want to see something. I want to see what you guys are experiencing that way as well. I don't want to open the, what's the name? I don't want to open the actual site. I just want to go to the thing. I guess I got to go to it, huh? Anyway, what up, Blue? I see you, Tammy. I see you. Yup. How was you kicked out? You just put it. Gracias de nada. All right. Is it charged up? Okay, yeah. All right. Let me go to here. I just want to see what you guys see as well. I mean, I can do it on the computer, but I'm not going to do that. Hey, what's up, Adrian? I see you. But yeah, I used to do videos on how my setup was, so other people, when they wanted to do it, they'd have a shortcut to do it and wouldn't have to do too much. But so much technology has changed. That it's almost always upgrading. So my system is, I try to keep it all the way up on the top. Afro Latina, I see you. Vicky, I see you. Raquel, I see you. Yep, we about to get started. Welcome to the live, everybody. So that says I'm live right there. Hopefully the volume's not up. Okay, new menu close. Okay, so let me do that. Okay, yeah, the volume is up on that. Let me turn that down. And I'm probably going to do that. I gotta do that when I'm actually on YouTube. But I'm going to be selecting some different. I gotta create my mods for for YouTube. Maybe I can do that right now. Let me see. Bear with me 1 second, y'all, as I set this thing up. I think that's how it goes. Yep. All right. Vicky, I see you. Yep. Let me move this. I just want the chat only. Pop out chat. Yep. I do not need to see me. Let me do this. There you go. There we go. So Afro Latina, let me get Stacy. I'm just setting up a few things real quick. Let me do this. Boom, boom. And I think that's it for now. Okay, so yeah. For those of you who are on my TikTok channel, we are live on YouTube right now where we're about to have this conversation. I think that might enlighten y'all, right? Most times, I know we play around in let me start it right now. So tonight, what up, Cassandra? I see you. You're on YouTube. You seem so far away. Laura, what's up? Listen, you guys, welcome to Skrapp After Dark. This is the conversation we're having tonight. It is 11:34 here in Atlanta, Georgia. It's 54 degrees. It was raining throughout the day, but we're not going to let that add any gloom to our evening. So a lot of times the conversations that we have are derived from either experiences that I've been through or conversations that I've had with people throughout the week or whatever, or a meme I've seen or a video I've seen. And today one of my homeboys called me, and what up, Tamala? He called me and he was like, yo, man, I want to talk. And he was like, we got to talking and I started giving him some advice and we had some feedback and some dialogue. And he was like, bro, you gotta say something about this. You know what I mean? You gotta talk about this tonight or sometime. And I was like, you know what? I get on every night. For those of you who don't know my schedule, it's revamped a little bit because I haven't been on at my 3 p.m. time, Eastern Standard Time. I haven't been on at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I do get on every night at around 11:15 or 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And usually at night, we either have a conversation like this, which is becoming more something that we do more often, or we just kind of kick it and hang out, you know what I'm saying, play some music, I sing, we have a whole vibe. I have a single out right now. It's called Slippin'. It's available on iTunes. Make sure you guys go check that out. It's I.C.Green, and the name of the song, again, is called Slippin', Slippin'. I think you'll enjoy it. I will not be playing it tonight on this live during this discussion, but depending on how long it is, we may get off and restart the live and have a conversation on TikTok where I will play the music. But he called me and he was just, he's a friend of mine. So most of my friends are in the entertainment business. Most of y'all know that. Like, most of my friends are either accomplished musicians, aspiring musicians, people I've worked with over the years in the music industry. And he is one of those people. And he hit me and he was like, bro, I'm dating this girl. We had a 2-piece conversation. One, I know y'all not ready for yet because it is a very, very real conversation that we got to sit down and unpack it completely. And that's going to be a good conversation because he was like, yo, I'm thinking about getting married. And I was like, I cautioned him in that I'm not against marriage, but I'm also not against, figuring things out. And again, that's a longer conversation that we got to have because the behavior that people have when they are single and dating or dating each other or going out or kicking it, all that kind of stuff is different than the behavior that is represented when two people decide to fully commit to one another. And that conversation is a long conversation and it got a lot to do. It's got a lot of unpacking to do because so many people, you hear it on a regular basis. Everything changes when the ring goes on, and it's a real hard conversation to have because nobody wants to talk about their responsibilities. What's up, Yvette? About their responsibilities in that situation, and it is a very strong conversation. And what I mean by that is for the mentally strong, those who are who are open and accountable. And that is what that conversation really has to have, is accountability. And it's kind of like this conversation. So he's a singer, and he was basically saying that the challenges he's been having, China, the challenges he's been having is not unlike any of the challenges that most of us have, which is when you are chasing a dream, when you are hustling, when you are trying to accomplish something, and you decided to invite somebody into your life, it is difficult. Nobody wants to be second. And unfortunately, for anybody who's dating a creative, a hustler, somebody who has been actively chasing a dream, meaning for those people who are like, all my life I wanted to be a doctor, right? And these people have to spend countless hours studying and doing all those different things. That is paramount to them. It is what leads the way. It is the charge. It is the thing that, whether you know it or not, it is the thing that you're attracted to when you meet them. What up, Foxy? It is the thing that you're attracted to when you meet somebody. It is their hustle, their drive. You see it. You see it in them. You can see it. You can feel it. There's an energy about somebody who's chasing a dream, who's moving through life with reckless abandonment when it comes to what they're trying to accomplish. When somebody wants to do something that's going to upgrade their life, their lifestyle, and for themselves and the people that are around them, they have started this journey most times when they were kids. They started this journey or vision, let's say when they were teenagers. They dialed into it and they started working that dream. What up, Queen? And then here comes the love interest. And it's a challenge to get into a relationship because your focus is first and foremost on your dream, the thing that you've been chasing for years. It's been there long before love was. It's been there long before the fat booty, the pretty face, the smile, the eyes, all that. It was there long before that. So although those things are attractive, although those things get your attention, your loyalty remains to what you were doing. For years, I've been chasing a dream. Along the way, you get sidetracked. You know, you meet people, you try to date them, you get sidetracked. But what makes those relationships, challenged is that they don't understand that they have to be second. And sometimes we mess it up. We start trying to date people. We give them our time and energy during a downtime in our career. And then when we have to gear back up, you're gone and missing. You're off, you're out of sight. Your commitment, your communication breaks down. Everything about it goes willy-nilly because now you got to get back on track. Charlena said she dated a rapper and she had to be secure and okay with the ladies wanting to be around him. That's a small part of the equation, right? Because ultimately, a person who's chasing a dream has laser focus. What up, Harmony? And they're not really thinking about entertaining anyone else. The reason why a lot of people who are really chasing their dreams are focused and they really don't have time to court multiple women and all that kind of stuff is because they're the one goal, the one thing the carrot that they've been chasing, they haven't accomplished yet. So our focus is on that. And many of you say that you could handle a relationship with a entertainer. You can handle a relationship with somebody who is climbing the corporate ladder. That you could handle a relationship with somebody who really out there hustling and getting it. But the reality is, unless you can resign to saying, I know how to support you that way, you're gonna get in the way and you're gonna get lost in the sauce. And you're gonna invest a lot of time and you're gonna feel messed up by it. It's just gonna be it's gonna turn out to be a bad situation because you will not know how to support him correctly. Now I guess I'm kind of advocating for the creative because I'm a creative and I just want to put it out there so that everybody can understand what your position should be. You know what I mean? And I don't think anyone's having that conversation with each other. And I'm saying that from both sides. If a woman is chasing a dream, then you got to know how to support her while she's chasing that dream without deflating it or building resentment toward it. one of the greatest things that I find is that when people are supporting somebody or trying to, supporting people, that there's a sentiment that goes with it that should be uplifting. You know what I'm saying? I am Cassandra still on TikTok, but I'm moving. You know what I'm saying? I'm a clear it off in a minute, but a lot of people will show you support, but then it comes with a cost. I listen, y'all don't understand how I really communicate and have thought about a lot of these processes when it comes to relating to one another. How much does it cost me to do something that I'm about to do? What's it going to cost me? Ladies, if you argue with the person that you're with if you argue with them on their way out the door to do something that they're doing that is beneficial for the goal that they're chasing, that is not support. And it's dangerous. It's dangerous and it's challenging for you. And the same go for men. Men, do not send your woman out into the streets with a chip on her shoulder. Do not send your woman outside of the house with an attitude. It's a recipe and it's a permission slip for most people to have the thoughts in their head to do something willy-nilly. But more so than that, couple that with alcohol, or if they do, anything else, you couple it with anything that's going to lower their inhibitions, and the cost of you making them feel that way on their way out the door could be detrimental to your relationship. Period. So I just need you to always remember that never let that person walk out feeling some kind of way. It's like you putting your hand on their back and you pushing them out the door versus making them say, I want to come back to you quicker than I left. And this part of this goes back to the conversation we had in the last live where I told y'all, ladies, y'all are in so much control. It's when you become prideful that you forget that the things you did to get him are the things that you can do to keep him and seduce him into whatever you want him to be a part of. You know what I mean? Yep, you will get caught slipping, saying you're absolutely right. You will get caught slipping if you don't manage that situation correctly. And you don't want that. That's just a bad position to be in, especially with a creative. Now, I say to you, the cost of, the cost of your support, man, is huge. Because we are on the creative side, and those people who have to be creative at work and those people who have to be creative in their hustle or whatever they're doing, you, especially to the person that you want to be emotionally tied to, they have the secret sauce to make you feel off. They have the secret sauce to make you feel not like yourself or not like you need to be. So I don't do any creating when if I get angry, I don't even go in the studio. I don't even attempt to put my fingers on the keyboard or hit the drum machine, nothing. Because that's not the relationship I want to have with the thing that I enjoy and I love. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do that. What up, Apostle? That's not something I'm interested in doing. And so the cost of that kind of support will build resentment on both sides. It'll build resentment. I'll resent you for making me feel like I can't be creative in the space that I want to be creative in, that I can't go and do the things that I want to do freely, because you now have inserted an opinion, a feeling, or something that I wasn't readily thinking of when I was doing what I was doing. Also, it's one of those things that, again, I'm speaking to the person who is with somebody or wants to be with somebody who is creative in some shape or fashion, somebody who is out here having to maneuver and create things. If you're creating it, you want it whole, you want it pure, you want it, you know what I'm saying? You want this, you want that awesome feeling to stay with it. I can tell you, listen, I can put on any record and tell you the time that these people had when they made the record. You could hear it. You know what I'm saying? And the spirit of that record travels with it. It's with anything, you know what I mean? Holly said also, if you put a creative mind in a negative space, it closes the lane of creativity. That's what I mean. That's exactly what I mean, Holly, is the conflict that you'll have is that now I resent you because I can't do what I've been feeling like I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? It's that. And that is the challenge. And you don't want to be in that space because, like I said, it builds resentment. And for people who are empaths like that, we don't forget. You know what I'm saying? It's a feeling attached to, and then it becomes, I don't want to talk to you before I go to do the thing I'm gonna do because you're gonna throw me off. See, it turns into something else, and now you're not speaking because you're trying to have a clean slate when you go to do your work. Now, unfortunately, the radar isn't there most of the time for the individual who has that kind of control, and they interrupt. Yeah, exactly, Charlene. Charlene said, I know a lady who didn't support her husband wanting a business. She said, we have bills to pay. That's one of the most challenging things you can ever experience is when somebody has a vision. Everybody's not going to have a vision at the same time. And everybody's not going to see the vision. I don't need you to see my vision to help, to support, to show up. I just need you to be down. And that's a huge challenge for some reason. It's the selfishness that people have that throws things off. Please you can't be selfish in a relationship. When somebody has a dream or a vision, you got to support it and find ways to be a part of it if you can without putting negative energy into it. Sheena says, if me and my husband have an argument, I will walk out the door. I can't tell you that's the most healthy way to do it. You know what I mean? I think there's another solution that you can have. What up, Benny? And deal with it, because I don't think you should walk out while there's still unresolved things because they don't go anywhere. And even if you bury them, they're still there and there's a conversation that has to happen. Now, I will tell you this. During our conversation, me and my friend's conversation today, he was like, yeah, man, it should be want to argue all the time and whatnot. Here's a tool for everyone in the live right now. You're going to like this tool. When someone proposes an argument to me, and it usually starts off with, can I ask you a question? That's the loaded gun all the time. Y'all know it. Can I ask you a question? And you should already know that it's fugazi, because you just asked me permission to ask a question, but you didn't ask permission to ask the question that you just asked. You know what I mean? No. So here's what I'm gonna give y'all. This is something I think you all benefit from, and it'll help your relationship out 1,000-fold. This will be one worth clipping, by the way, y'all. This will be one that you can clip, you can use. It's gonna benefit you highly in your relationship, because people who are communicating and have those concerns and issues, usually there are the ones who have thought about the issues, right? So when somebody presents can I ask you a question? I'd be like, sure. You know what I mean? Let's hear it. And they ask me the question. I reserve the right to ask a question as well. How long have you thought about that? So when a person asks you a question that's going to get you started into that's a loaded question, Crystal. When they get you into that position, they say, can I ask you a question? They say what the question is. You should turn around and say, how long have you thought about that? Now, typically, no one has just came up with that out of the blue. Most times, ladies, y'all have let an argument or a position or a feeling sit on y'all for at least a week. Same with some men. I'm not one of those. If I don't talk about it when it's going down, I could care less about it in the future. I'm not a person who carries that kind of thing over. I don't care. But when that is proposed to me, here's what you do. When they tell you they took a week to go through this issue that they had this issue a week ago, then you say, hey, I really respect, what you're going through, but can you give me half the time that you took with your concern? If you took a week, give me 3 days to talk about it. I need the same amount of time. If I need either the same amount of time or I need half of the time that you had to think about it, just like you did. You got to ask them how long you thought about it, and then you got to say, cool, if you thought about it for a week, give me 3 days to think. Give me at least 3 days. It's only fair, right? No, Olivia. So Olivia said, I talk it out then and there. Olivia, I'm going to tell you right now, that's the wrong way to play the game that these people are playing. I am not going into a scenario where you've already played all the chess pieces so you think you know how it's going to end. I need to step back and look at the board myself because I wasn't thinking about that position. I wasn't thinking about that feeling. I wasn't thinking about that the way that you were thinking about it. You got to think about that. When a person, listen, ladies, y'all know it. When y'all talk to a dude and y'all know y'all got him, y'all already know the answers. Y'all ask questions. Y'all ask questions y'all already know the answer to. Yeah, Sin, I used to be like that where I would, you want to talk about it now? Let's talk about it. And I realized I was not giving myself the benefit that they have. Not even myself. I hadn't given the situation the benefit that they gave him. They are 8-9 moves ahead of me already. 8-9 moves ahead of me at the beginning of the conversation. So I had to say, look, let's step back a second. If you had a week to think about it, give me 3 days. I'm not even asking for the same amount of time you took to think about it. That's the real disarming part. Because a person will want you to answer on the spot. I'm not doing that. I don't play them games. I'm telling y'all how to manage your relationships. Too many times a person will ask of you something that they didn't require for themselves. If you had a week to think about it, give me 3 days. And I'll be prepared to have this conversation with you. It is the most disarming thing you're going to do at the onset of somebody wanting to argue with you. Period. It is not wrong to ask questions, Apostle, because the person who initiated the conversation asked a question. So we got to remember that we both should have the ability to have these conversations. Not Renee, Renee said, why not just go and get it out in the open? Because you want a solution that works for everybody. And when you're in the heat of the moment and you're having this discussion, Renee, that person has thought about it for a week. Ask yourself, if you had a week to think about it, coming up with, all the scenarios of a situation, how much stronger in that situation you'll be from somebody who I just sprung it on. I mean, I'm fast on my feet. Don't get me wrong. I'm quick. But I realized I didn't have to be quick. And if I cared about the relationship, if I cared about the conversation, and if you cared about it, you wouldn't want me to be quick. You'd want me to put the same care and concern that you put into it. Exactly, Charlena. Charlena said, one person being prepared to talk isn't fair to the other person who isn't prepared. Bottom line. That's just, you know what I'm saying? And so what you realize is, especially when you're doing business and all those kind of things, I'm in positions a lot where people offer me things on the spot and they give you the look as if they want you to respond right then. And I typically say, oh, that's cool, man. Yeah. So let me talk to my team about it and I'll get back to you. You know what I mean? That's how I handle that. Oh yeah, that sounds. I agree and shake my head to everything and be like, okay, cool. Well, let me think about it, man. Because you've thought about it enough to hash it all out. I need time to think about it, to read through what you said. And it's the same when you're having these discussions with somebody that you care about. Now, remind you, I'm only giving you solutions and tips and things for people you care about. If you don't care about them, you don't care about the conversation, it's whatever. Period. Lavetta says, I ask a lot of questions when I am asked. They get upset and don't like to wait, but have no choice or just leave and let alone the time. The conversation should be let alone anyway. Like, go ahead and address me with what it is you got to say. I'm open to hear your concern, but I'm only open to hear your concern because I need time just like you had time. It's only fair. It's only right. I thought that was going to benefit a lot of you. Again, I'm not trying to put you in a position to incite anybody or make them feel crazy. I just need you to take time out for yourself. You got to remember, it's two of y'all in this relationship. And you want to relate. Crystal said, I think it's better to have a well thought out response and not saying something you could possibly regret. That's all it is. Why can't I have a roadmap like you had one? That's it. But a lot of us don't approach conversing with somebody that way. And I think that's important. The biggest thing about our relationships is communicating. And that goes back to what I was saying about when you're dealing with a creative, how you communicate means everything. It's everything. Tammy says she hates when the answer is given and they drag it out. It's impossible to drag it out with me, Tammy, because once you have the answer, then the question becomes, what else is it that you're needing to hear? You got to ask them that. That's a fair question. Once you've given the answer, the question then becomes, if they're continuing, is, did I miss something that you need to hear? Yep. That's Ambassador Amy. That's all you're asking for, Ambassador Amy. She said, think before you speak. That's all I'm asking for when I say to you, give me the same amount of time you had to think about it. Give me that. That's all I ask for. Just give me that. And I never ask for the full time, because the full time, they give you that look like, what? I'd be like, no, just give me half the time. I don't need all that. I don't need a week. I don't need a week to discuss it. I need half the time. You know what I mean? And that'll benefit you. But the way that you communicate is everything. It's in what you say and how you say it. And when it comes to somebody that you care, then you have to be mindful of your words. Too many of us say, oh, I was upset. Nah, da, da, da. Why be upset when you're talking to somebody that you love, somebody that you care about, somebody that you want to win? Why would you talk like that? If it's not constructive, it's destructive. And at the point of you trying to tear down something or tear me down, you got to understand that I'm in self-preservation mode at that point. I got to protect me. And for me, just so y'all understand, I'm not arguing with you. I'm not saying nothing slick. I'm not coming out of my mouth sideways. I'm not calling you names. I'm not doing none of that. I'm not doing anything that I'm going to regret. Now, have I ever bit back before? Absolutely. But I've also managed to not say things that cut really deep. I don't do that. I don't use the things that you've given me in trust. I don't put those up. Those are not negotiable. That's exactly. That should be honored because it was a premeditated, boom. I love that. Premeditated question. Yeah, I'm gonna need 3 days on that one, because you know what I'm saying? You premeditated that. But again, here's the other part. I think people forget what they truly want from somebody when they engage in their communication. And they forget, or their threshold in order to get what they want is very thin, unfortunately. I am a diehard, talk it out and get to the goal that I started off with. We're gonna get through this, because if I present the conversation, is because I see an end in the beginning, a beginning and an end, and whatever we do in the middle is cool. I'm not gonna go crazy. I'm not going to compromise getting to the end, period. Because that wasn't my goal from the beginning. It's funny. I was on Instagram the other day, and this guy was he posted something. I replied to it. Then he posted something back, calling me crazy and all that. And then I posted something back. And then, ironically, on my timeline, the answer to the thing that debunked what he was saying came on my timeline. I copy pasted it, put it on his timeline. He's like, man, you still on that? I said, if I started it, if I engaged in communicating with you, I don't want to stop until we are finished. That is a challenge. That's a whole nother discussion for us to dive into, is don't start anything that you're not willing to finish, whether it's a conversation, whether it's something that you're doing around your house and all that. Don't start nothing you're not willing to finish, period. I know a lot of great people who have started some things and never finished them and missed their moment. But anyway, that's a whole nother discussion. When we talk about dealing with each other, creatives, people who are at the behest of others, like somebody who's trying to be VP of a company or any of that kind of stuff, or a hustler who's out there, y'all, I know we come off tough and guarded, and that's a facade for how fragile we truly are. And that's funny, Ambassador. Ambassador says it's not finished until I say we're finished. Well, yeah, that probably gonna get you in a longer conversation than you want. But No, it is so important that we manage that conversation, and not make it cost the other person so much to invite you into that. I think that when you're dealing with a person who is trying to achieve major goals, be mindful that they're very fragile. Be mindful that that somewhere there's somebody who is negotiating the outcome of what they're trying to do, and it's a very sensitive area because most of those creatives, most of those people who are striving to be higher in their careers are really in a vulnerable place. And the last person they want to have undermine that vulnerability or abuse it is the person that's closest to them. Nobody wants to feel like they're sleeping with the enemy. It will lead to, first off, it'll start off as resentment. They'll be mad as hell at you. And then they'll say, it ain't, and this is a place you don't want to get to, is where a person says, you know what, it ain't your fault. It's my fault for even opening up to you about it. So I ain't going to do that no more. That's a very tough position. That is a very tough position to be in. When a person has decided, no, I'm cool. I don't even want to risk you having an opportunity to make me feel some kind of way about it. I've done that before. I have hidden some of the, when I'm working on something or doing, I used to hide it. I'd hide it. None of your business. It's none of your business. And I don't say that, you don't say that to the other person, but you just do what you do. And then they hear about it along with everybody else. Oh, I didn't know you was, I was, I just don't want, I didn't want to say it. And then you do what you do. Call them dream killers. Dream killers. That's the part you don't want to be. You don't want the dream killer. Everyone wants to. Let me see what she's saying. Okay. Queen said everyone wants a supportive partner. Period. We all desire the same. Most law speaking. Yeah. Again, because a lot of people grow up very selfish. And I'm not making excuses for people, because you have to know and learn how to support people the correct way. That's right. Effective listening is key. You have to understand what support looks like. And if you don't know what that looks like, then you need to find someone who is in a similar relationship that is thriving and say, what is it that you're doing that makes y'all collective function? It's not a bad thing to have mentors, ladies, gentlemen. It's not a bad thing to have an example of what you want. That's not a bad thing. Just so you know, it's not a bad thing. For those of you who are on my YouTube channel, right quick, just a pause for the cause. This is a commercial. If you look by the chat bar where you talk at, you see that money symbol. If you tap that, you'll see some options there. You can get a super sticker, super chat, become a membership, or do membership gifting. Just so y'all know, that's a part of the YouTube experience that they have. We can, to my moderators, y'all can start a Q&A, start a poll over there as well. There are a few things we got to, that I'm gonna make sure that we understand how to use this more effectively, because I love talking to y'all on this YouTube platform. I love the layout where y'all can really see the room and whatnot. And the conversation is so much better because I can take your conversations and add them. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's when it comes to supporting somebody or being involved with somebody who's creative. It's different from just being in your normal average relationship. What up, Larissa? It's similar to that, but it has a heightened nuance when it comes to how effective it is. People who work, if those couples where everybody works like a traditional job or whatnot, where creativity is not needed. Like most jobs are skilled jobs. Like if you're a mechanic, that's a skilled job. Very, very seldom do you ever have to be creative. You know what I mean? This screw goes there. This hose connects to that. This spark plug does this. It's that. You know what I mean? When you're working corporate America, very seldom do you have to be creative. You know what I'm saying? There is there is this paper goes with this document, it goes with this, and check the boxes, da 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 da. Is that kind of thing. So you can have any kind of mood you want. Now some of y'all go to work angry, some of y'all be at work angry and still get y'all job done. You know what I mean? In my creative profession, it's difficult to do that unless I'm trying to write an angry record. The way that y'all know how the reason why we love some of the records we love is because you could hear that these people enjoyed that. Now, Cassandra, if you guys are over on YouTube, Cassandra just asked a really important question. Let me see. Can I pin that? Yeah. Cassandra said, what if you want to have a mentor or a platonic friend, but the person you're in a relationship with runs all of them off? Now, this is a real easy one. This is easy because this has nothing to do with your want or desire or whoever the mentor is. It has everything to do with the insecure person you're in the relationship with. And to Queen's point, she said, any entrepreneurship is hard because you have to build your clientele up and keep it. I would say that same individual who would block your mentorship or whatever is the same one that will block your clientele if it was of the opposite sex. That's an insecurity issue, and it's not your fault. You can't fix it, but you have to demand. You have to demand that he respect what your needs are. His insecurity will become your problem if it's not put in check early. Those type of people like to make you get on an island. They like to remove any and everybody from around you so that they can manipulate you and have you their own way with no checks and balances. Now, the problem with that is this, and this goes for anybody who's ever moved along those lines. The problem is this, and I want you all to remember this. The people that were around you when I met you, it's imperative that they stay a part of your friend circle or whatever it is unless they do something messed up. Oh, why is that, Skrapp? Oh, it's because whomever those individuals were, they were the ones that made whatever light I saw in you illuminate when I met you. Whomever they were that were in your life at the time were the ones holding you accountable in such a way that when I saw you, you were your authentic self, and I liked it. Remove those people and it becomes challenging for you to be yourself because your checks and balances are off. If you're not who you were in your relationship in the beginning, who you were later on in it, it's because the pieces that made you whole are no longer there. You had a girlfriend that always kept you on your toes. You had a cousin, a brother, or whoever who was just always making sure that your checks and balances were right, that are no longer around now because the person you've chosen has made them feel unwanted or has challenged you to proceed with your life without them. Most of us haven't done that. Most of us have really good friends. And what you'll find is when y'all see those people out there that are really happy in their relationships is because they've demanded that the other person accepts them and their circle that held them down. And that's such a beautiful life to have, y'all. K-Camp says, I make myself whole. I refuse to go outside myself searching for something that's in me. K-Camp, you are cultivated from the community of people that you've developed. You have been your whole self and illuminated the light that has gone out to all the people that you cherish and you care for. Those people helped you become who you are, whether you know it or not. They laughed at your jokes. They cried when you cried. They held you when you needed to be held. They shared secrets with you. Y'all had experiences that only y'all had. Those people are to be cherished because they're part of your social DNA. social DNA. We all have it. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that you keep these people forever or whatnot. The good ones you do. You know what I mean? But if you don't recognize that people, now, do people change? Absolutely. You having somebody in your life make people change? Yep. You getting money make people change? Yep. You going back to school and trying to better yourself make people change? Yep. Those are things that happen, and those are just, part of the system. But if all of your friends turn out, all of a sudden ain't shit friends, then that is something that you have to check about yourself, because they were the people that were around when I met you. They were the people that were around when I liked you. And remember, I don't know if y'all remember this. I like that. So Crystal said, to be in healthy relationships, both parties must be whole and healthy as well. And I'm telling you, your friend circle is a part of keeping you healthy. But if y'all remember, I gave y'all like the 3 points that I use when it comes to, meeting and dating and all that kind of stuff. First time you meet somebody, don't talk about nothing personal. Just see if you like being around them. Should be the testament to your vibe, your energy, that whatever's drawing you to them, that thing should be paramount in them being around you. Like, that should be the reason why, you could exist past the point of all the other things that are mainstays in the conversational pool, like age, family, where you from, all that shit. That's all regular conversation stuff. Like, you don't have to, please don't ask me none of that stuff on the first time we meet. Please don't ask me what I do for a living. Every time a woman has asked me what I do for a living, I always say when. When? Because if I meet you out and we ain't at no job site, we ain't in the studio, we ain't doing like, hey, you ain't talking about my job. What's wrong with you? Why, you got a position open? You finna give me a job? You finna put me on the payroll? But we ain't talking about that. I don't care about what you do when I meet you. I need to make sure we good just being, like, you need to make sure you just good being around people. You know what I mean? Yeah. What did you say? Sakari said, exiting the convo, literally helped, housed, supported, still turn hater. So yeah, I can't relate. That's going to happen. And that's not, you're not mad at them. You're mad at yourself for not seeing them for who they were. You're not mad at them. You're mad that you allowed somebody, that you didn't see the signs. You're mad that you didn't move faster. You're mad that you didn't identify that these people weren't who they should have been faster. That's all that is. But you're not mad at them. Or you shouldn't be. Yeah, Tamala, you can't say you don't trust nobody, because trusting nobody means you don't trust yourself. And if anything, that's what you got to get back to, is trusting yourself. That's what the damage is when people do you wrong, is that you forget to trust yourself. You forget that you were good. You know what I mean? Yep, accountability is everything. Y'all ain't ready for this. I was going to post this thing so y'all could hear it, but you know what I mean? So, like I said, yep, this sophisticated lady said, this is why the very first date or hangout should be free. Absolutely, because too many people try to put some kind of expectation when you spend money on folks. It's a known fact. People try to put an expectation on it. Where you take them to go eat. There's a thing. Oh my God, on the first date, we went to Steak and Shake. Girl, I only go to Steak and Shake when I'm by myself. What? But you like Steak and Shake, and I took you there. Now I'm surprised. You understand? It's too much put on it, and people don't have the mental wherewithal to understand what it means. If you know what I'm saying, it's they don't understand that. You know what I mean? So the first time, you need to just hang out. You know what I'm saying? Stay in the moment. Talk about, if you can't talk about the moment that we're in, you can't talk about nothing else with me. I don't understand how I can meet you at a club and you can't answer, and the conversation isn't, have they played your favorite song tonight? Like, you know what I mean? Hey, or what are you drinking or whatever? And when's the first time you had this drink? You know what I'm saying? What turned you on to this drink? Do all your friends drink this? Do you have a bottle of this at home? If we went somewhere else and I offered to buy you this drink, would you be cool with that? Like, there's a ton of questions. I have a lot of questions that have nothing to do with where you work at and what area you live in and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of conversation out there. And unfortunately, people take the shortcut and say, you know what I'm saying, and try to get into things. I had a girl say stuff to me like that, and I was like, why are you trying to? I said, I'm not filling out an application. I'm not. What's with all the application stuff? I'm not. Yeah, don't interview me. I'm not trying to. I didn't come to the party to talk about work. That's the first rule. I am not away from work to talk about work. Why would you want to take me there? That's not it. And then secondly, you go on a second date and y'all should go somewhere nice, somewhere now that's not got a crowd of people around or whatever. You go on a date, y'all, and grab a bite to eat and just talk. Hey man, did you, how was work today? You had a good time? Okay, cool. Have you, are you a sports person, or what do you do when you're not at work? And I'm not asking you what you do again. I'm just saying, what do you do when you're not at work? Oh, I go to the gym and I work out. Is there something? Okay, that's what's up. I saw your little muscle, you know what I'm saying? You trying to get diesel on people, you know what I'm saying? What's your short-term gym goal, and then what's your long-term gym goal? I mean, it's a whole bunch of ways to converse with people without being personal, but being engaged in the conversation, and that's the important part about that. Now, here's the third one, which I said is the other part, right? The main part on the third time is I gotta go somewhere that you invite me where your friends are at. They are your accountability partners, and I need to be there. I need to be there. I need to see how you act around your girlfriends. And if I hear one of your girlfriends saying, ooh, I see you over there, you'd be in this kind of way now that he here. What do you mean? Because whenever I'm around her, this is how she is. Are you saying this is not how she regularly is? What up, Tashi? What up, Erica? You know what I'm saying? These are the things that you gotta. If y'all trying to get rid of the representative, well, you got to take them to a place where that representative is difficult. It's like people call me out. Like when I'm around my friends and I start talking in them accents, first thing my friend says, why are you talking in that accent? And then the person around me say, oh, you don't really talk like that, man. Oh, you was messing with me. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Sophisticated lady said, what if you're a loner and only have like church friends? Well, let's go to church. Let's go to Bible study. Let's go to a retreat. Let's go to a revival. Let's go somewhere where my church friends are at so you can meet them. If they're truly your church friends, if they're truly people that you're going to be around, then it's only right that we get that out of the way, where we put that in the mix. There is no excuse not to bring your person or around your people and for you to be around their people. Period. And if you're not doing that, she said, what if she don't have friends and just know people in general? That's a challenge, Renee, because now this is, some of y'all ain't gonna want to hear this. For the person that has no friends, man, you're not qualified to be in that relationship with those people. Sorry. You're not qualified to be the sole bearer of the responsibility of someone with no friends. Do you understand the word clingy? Do you understand the word need you? Those people, if you have the effect that you want to have on them, will need you going forward. They won't want you. They will need you because they have no one else. Relationships should be about want. Relationships should be about want. And Trisha said it's a small pittance for a man to pay for dinner. That's a different conversation in itself. And then it really depends on the individuals and how they are trying to build the relationship. That's a bigger conversation than most people give it attention to. Queen said, me and my daughter, not true. I'm responsible for myself. I don't like people after being used. That's something that you got to manage, because a man comes in your life and he's all you got outside of your child or whatever. That's a hard demand to put on someone who is, that's a hard demand to put on anyone, because we're not wired that way. Most people do have friends. Most people have a collective group. You know what I'm saying? I don't hang out with them. You don't hang out with them all the time, but I got friends. You know what I mean? That's not it, Kay. Listen, how many animals got on Noah's Ark by themselves? Kay Camp said, that's not true. If you're self-sufficient, you don't need anyone. That is a Don't even regurgitate that again, because there's so much untruth in that. You're not okay. Or you're not being honest about having somebody. Everybody, the desire in life is that the desire from day one. The desire from day one is that you have companionship. I'm just saying, Queen. I know there's some people ain't gonna want to hear it. Companionship, whether it's a friendship, a lover, or any of that. Companionship. No. So that's what I'm saying. So she clarified. She said, when I say need, I mean need that person solely. No. I'm not saying everybody needs somebody that way. I'm not saying that's not how it should work. I'm saying that no one goes through, okay, let me rewind it. No one has an amazing quality of life doing it by themselves. That's what I should say next time. No one has an amazing quality of life going through it by themselves. I'm sorry. That's how I should have worded it. Because as a human being, you're capable of anything. But your quality of life is going to be different. I have more fun in life when I'm having fun with my friends. I'm sorry. Do I enjoy my alone time? Absolutely. But when I'm with my people, I get to be myself. They get to make me laugh. I get to make them laugh. We get to talk serious. We get to, what? Come on, man. Man. Lavetta said, I have a small group, but I do not meet strangers, yet I'm a very cautious person. So I'm at that place too. I kind of meet strangers and I kind of don't, right? I have, y'all can tell just by how we communicate, and y'all kind of get it. I'm so in tune with myself that I understand who's around me. You know what I'm saying? I have a great discernment for people who come into my life and why and what's in it for them and what's in it for me. I have a great discernment. And you have to be so in tune with yourself in order to get the kind of discernment that I have, that when you're around people, you can smell the bad apple. You know what I mean? The way my friend group works, because my friend group is full of celebrities as well as common folk, is that somebody has to vouch for you. You just can't hang out with us. Somebody that we trust has to bring you around. And if they don't like you, if the collective thinks like, yo, what's up with your boy? No, you don't get to come back around. And that's what it is. That's how ours work. That's just how it works. If you don't become part of it, in order to hang out with us, in order to be a part of our collective, you got to be vouched for. And the crazy part is what you'll find, and maybe I think all y'all should adopt that. Like, no new friends unless they came through a friend that you value. And if they came through their friend, they are responsible for you. It's a vouching system. You know what I mean? It's a vouching system. I'm telling y'all, I've had people, I brought people around twice ever. And I was like, yo, y'all can be my friends over here, but y'all can't be over here with us, because y'all don't know how to act. Listen, y'all got to remember, you can and you should compartmentalize your friends, because some friends aren't qualified to be in certain situations without embarrassing. Cassandra said, what do I mean by common folk? What I mean by common folk is folks who live a regular life. Who don't do the extraordinary, who you know what I'm saying? There are people who are 9-to-5ers, they go home and that's their day. Then you have people who go on their 9 to 5, leave there, go to happy hour, leave there, go change clothes and go out. You know what I'm saying? And then you got people who don't do a 9 to 5 and work for themselves and have done really well. And these people go out of town for the weekend and go party. They go to special events and do their thing. There's a difference between who and how we all move and respond. So there are friends that I can invite to certain things, and there's friends I wouldn't dare invite to certain things. Because there has to be a certain level of knowing myself as well as knowing them and trusting and all that. That's a whole nother thing. And I don't mean that, no, not by economic and socioeconomic status. That that plays into it, Julietta, only because that is also associated with how people move, their personalities and characteristics that go along with each one of those people. You know what I mean? Sophisticated said, I'm so introverted. I'm trying so hard to hang out more and be more social. Yeah, that's it. You just being social means just being out, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully going out with your friends and, you know what I'm saying? And when people are around, you know, you not clamming up, you there, you know, have no expectations. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those, you know what I'm saying? It's I've got friends of all kinds of financial status. And some of them, it has nothing. Their character has nothing to do with how much money they make. I know some people who don't make a whole lot of money, but are super dope people, and they get to come around. They get to hang out. You know what I'm saying? They get to have an amazing time. They get invited into the section, and you know what I'm saying? Is that? She said the rhinestone boots is ready. I know they is. But again, these are just things that when you're dating someone that is on the creative side, you know, the things the challenges, you know what I'm saying? You want to be the person that's there, that is helping move things along and keeping things cool. I used to envy going to the studio and seeing my homeboys. They be at the studio and they girl be there, and they girl she don't even be doing shit. Listen, if y'all go to the studio with Pharrell right now, Pharrell's wife is at the studio and she like a fly on the wall. You wouldn't even know it unless he go chop it up with her and talk to her, whatever. She just be chilling. He ain't asking her for no melodies, no lyrics, no nothing. But her energy in the room helps him continue to do what he does at the level that he does it at. That's all. That's all that's required. You don't have to be a specialist in whatever they're doing in the room. You don't have to have no input in it or whatever. You just got to be there to, you know, when you're called upon. That's it. It's super easy. It's super easy. Sometimes we just want you to be there. That's it. No other requirements than that. You know what I'm saying? Just chill. The challenge is, as exciting as the life is for anybody who is at that next level. What y'all know is, like, at the next level, man, it's a good time. It's not so much work. It's partying, it's kicking, it's celebrations and all that. But the other time to get there, for you, it may be boring as I don't know what, just to be honest with y'all. Going to the studio, sitting there watching me work, for some people would be boring. Others, it's super duper dope to when you're just chilling. Like it, I would say you should, you know, bring your computer or do something. What up, Mark? Do something, you know, get involved with something that you can kind of just be posted and have I think that's the challenge, right? The challenge is when, and he, my friend that I spoke with earlier, Mike, he talked about it as well. He was like, you know, the challenge is when they're all in your business and whatever. And I'll be like, usually that's a person who has too much idle time. I would tell you all, the busy thing that you do in the interim of somebody else working or doing something else is going to be one of the healthiest things you can do for that relationship. It's going to be super dope that you're not, the only people who nag are people who don't have enough to do. You know what I mean? Yes, it's definitely important, Charlene, to be a part of each other's world. You absolutely need to be involved in some shape or form, because what happens is an experience or something dope might happen in that environment that you could have been a part of that you're not even there for. And so they end up celebrating with whoever's around at that point. You want to be there for those celebrations as often as you can, especially if what you're doing only requires you to sit there and tap on your computer or put on some headphones or whatever, or read a book like you guys said. Then there's an opportunity for you to be in the space, and being just in that shared space is so powerful. That shared space is so powerful. And so many people miss it. So many people miss it. The challenge is, now the other challenge on the flip side of that is those who work in corporate America and bring their corporate work home. That's a challenge because it for the other person, it feels like you're robbing them of something. You get no greater benefit from doing the work, other than, of course, you trying to excel past the point of what you were doing. But man, it's so challenging when someone brings work home. You get no greater pay. You get no, unless you own the company, that's the only time I think you should ever bring work home. I'm sorry. They pay what you weigh, is how we would say it. They pay what you weigh, meaning you get no dollar more or no dollar less when you turn your computer off at 5 or 6 in the evening. You get no dollar more, no dollar less. What you do, though, is you take away from your family, yourself, and if you got a significant other, you take away from their experience with you. And that's unless you're the boss. You know what I mean? Yeah, unless you're the boss. That's the only time I see it is if you're working towards a promotion, maybe you do a little kiss ass work like that. I got it. But if you ain't working towards a promotion like in the next 2 months, 3 months, I don't get it. Because they're not paying you more. You don't get a tip. You don't get a bonus. I mean, you get a bonus yearly, but you're going to get that over the course of time that you did the work. That was always my challenge with women who work 9 to 5s. It'd be like, yo, why are you bringing that home? Are you bringing it home under the impression that you're going to get fired if you don't do it tomorrow at work? What up, Tastefully? Like that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's when Julietta, exactly. When you're trying to do one of those, I get it. When you're chasing that next level, you know what I'm saying, of, to where they're giving you a car allowance and and a fat bonus and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, okay, do a little bit. Yeah, do it. But to me, that would negate what you're doing while you're at the job and how unless I get the executive team spending a little more time. I get it. It's like school teachers staying after the grade papers. Totally get it. They get no extra bonus for doing it. It just makes their life easier when they're at work. Totally get it. But that shouldn't be an everyday occurrence. It shouldn't be a part of the lifestyle that you've acquired. If I work 9 to 5, you're going to get my 9 to 5, and you might get a 9 to 6 or 7 once a week for something that is, something that is important. But outside of that, man, come on, man. Because what you fail to realize is that you're the one working the hardest. If you're not the boss, you're working harder. You know what I mean? Yeah. Tammy said, my problem is this, being the boss and how to draw the line. Listen, as bosses, I think the sentiment is if it were the law, and this is kind of how you got to approach it. If it was the law that you could only work people from 9 to 5, then I would suggest, or I would think that people would be trying to find ways to get the most out of them during that 9 to 5, so that when they cut those computers off at 5, you're ahead of the game or you're on par with your projections. The fact that people don't have those kind of boundaries is if you can't get done what you should be getting done in 8 hours, the process is flawed. And somebody doesn't have the vision. Somebody doesn't see hasn't drawn out the plan correctly. I don't understand, Sin. Let me post that. Sin said adults play many roles. Not to mention we got 24 hours to accomplish those many roles. Not to mention 8 hours are used for rest. Only a small-minded person misunderstands that. I think that when you divide up your time for the day, right? Unfortunately, in this system, yep, Tammy says they work 24/7. Yep, in this system, this system is designed and celebrated by having people on a hamster wheel. And they'll have you running on that hamster wheel to your detriment. Because if you're not the boss, again, and the bosses have to be aware of it, but bosses don't bear the burden of this. If I'm the boss and I got you running on a hamster wheel and you break a leg, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get another hamster, and that other hamster is gonna run on that same wheel, and you're gonna be off doing whatever you're doing, and that it is what it is. It's knowing that you're easily replaced. You know what I mean? If you're not the owner, you're only a number. Don't take work on it. Exactly. Janetta typed it while I was saying it. Yep. And that's exactly it, Crystal. I think that a lot of people got a wake up call when we had to work from home, and have to learn when to cut it off, like turn off work from home so you can spend time with your people. And then once you evaluate just how important your health and your family are, and how fleeting life is, you will adjust. Holly said, I can tell that you've never worked in corporate America, respectfully. I have a funny story about when I was going to work in corporate America, but the way my mind works, you're absolutely right. I'm too creative for the space that's created for people to not be creative. I can't be in the 9-to-5 workplace because I think so far outside of the box, and I like to implement those ideas to make things better. And the way corporate America is set up is that they have a system that they're okay with not functioning at its highest level, and I don't operate like that. You're absolutely right. I went for a job interview. I typed 100 and something correct words per minute. I blew their minds away, and when it came down to compensation, I asked for everything. I didn't want to start at the entry level. I wanted them to give me a car. I asked for everything because I really didn't care if I was getting a job or not. I asked for everything. And the two people that were sitting there looked at me like I was crazy because they had just got through telling me how qualified I was and how dope I was doing all this and all that. And I just looked at them like, look, I want what I want. And it was like, we normally don't give this to people. I am not normal. And I told them I'm not concerned. I know it was one of the best interviews they ever had because I told them I'm not concerned with what other people are doing. You and I are in here alone. They'll never know what you're doing for me until you tell them, because I'm not. I'm not, because I'm going to enjoy the benefits of what you do for me. I'm not the regular candidate that you have in here. And that's the reason why, to Holly's point, corporate America you know what? You know what's funny? When I go to corporate events and they see me and we talk, I see the wishing they were me kind of vibe. I see the it's not envy. It's just marveling at the life that I've created for myself. Because I am outside of every line that they have drawn. As much as they've accomplished, as much as they've acquired, they just be like, man. And I'd be like, yo, we all chose a path. We all chose a path. I had hardships on my way to doing what I do. I had hardships. But I endured them because I knew what was on the other side of those hardships. I knew that I cut above everybody else. I knew I belonged. I knew I was dope. You know what I'm saying? And when you know that, you'll risk it all. At least I would. Some won't. Some won't risk it all. You know? And that's important, Stacey. Stacey said, I refuse to go back to corporate America. Small businesses only. I'm more than a number. That's the part for me that, you know what I'm saying? I never, ever wanted to be told what to do. I'm not that. I'm like my brother was always trying to recruit me. He was one of the highest recruiters in Michigan for the Army. And he was like, y'all, all your stuff is taken care of. And you know what I'm saying? You're going to travel around the world. I said, this music game going to take me everywhere I want to go. I said, I'm just going to stay. I'm going to stay the course because I'm good. I'm better than good. I'm dope. And it's just a matter of moments before I had my breakthrough. It wasn't whether I was going to have a breakthrough or not. I never had a plan B. Never had a plan B. I never had a plan B. That's the best advice I could give anybody who's on the entrepreneurial trail and truly is talented. I think one of the things that for me was, and I said this earlier too in this conversation, I had an amazing mentor. We're all required to have somebody who has traveled the road that you've traveled and was a success at it to help you get. So I avoided some pitfalls. I learned some hard lessons. I heard some hard conversations. I tweaked, I changed, I adjusted, and I got my formula right. And when I got my formula right, there wasn't nothing nobody could tell me. Wasn't nothing nobody could tell me. The minute they opened up the door, I ran through it. That's right. Julietta said it, and it said if you have a plan B, it means you think you'll fail. So don't have a plan B. And so many times I hear like when singers and artists come through and they be like, yeah, well, and I know y'all hate to. I mean, it's bad when I say this, but they be like, I went to college and da 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 da. I'll be like, your education in this music game is ongoing. It should have happened. You know what I'm saying? It should have happened. You know what I'm saying? When people were talking about going to college, I was having my breakthrough when they were in college. I was getting my first deal done when they were in college. Life is the greatest experience that you can have, and I've always, I was born to be outside the box. Like, I was born to be outside the box. I'm a black kid, green eyes, had red hair. I wasn't going to fit into the box because I didn't look like somebody who was in the box. I was never treated like somebody is in the box. The best thing that could have happened to me was kids ridiculing me and talking about me and telling me just how different I was to the point that I believed it. When I believed I was different, at first it was painful because I wanted to be, I wanted to fit in. I wanted to kick it like everybody else. I wanted to be cool. I didn't want all the difference. And then I could tell y'all when it happened, it was the 7th grade. It took me to the 7th grade. Like, I knew I was special and I knew I was talented and all that stuff before 7th grade. But 7th grade, my brother came back from the military. He was over in Korea. He came back and he brought me some new clothes. He went and got my hair cut, and I remember what it was. I remember I went to this fair. I stepped out at the fair. I had my new haircut. I had on some fly clothes, and the girls was going crazy. This ain't never happened to me before. You know what I'm saying? Like, the girls was on me, and I was like, yo, it must be, is there something going on? I wasn't cat eyes no more. I wasn't green-eyed monster no more. I was pretty eyes, and when it got cool for when it got cool for the girls to like me, that's when I got the haters from the dudes, you know what I'm saying? And, I really found out who was really going to be my friends and all that kind of stuff. And from there, my talent plus my confidence is what changed everything. And then I started diving into my talent and leaning into it more because I am and have always been a dope nerd. Y'all, for those of y'all who don't know, I play video games. I play a ton of different instruments. I read. I invest in my knowledge. You know what I'm saying? I am the nerd at it all. I love women. Like, I'm not a sports dude like that. Like, nerds, we love technology. We like beautiful things, and all we think about is women. Period. That's if y'all ever watch like different movies or whatnot, and you see the smart guy, he's always thinking about the girl, because the jock who is dumb, who is only athletic, are the only ones who didn't think about girls. They thought about the sport. They were all into their thing and what they were on. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those. So yes, do I have a conversation that is grounded in caring about others and listening and being able to regurgitate and having great mentors? Absolutely. I've had all those. I've been fortunate enough to have. I know I'm blessed. I'm blessed beyond measure. I've had an amazing life so far. I can't, I have, I probably got small regrets. You know what I'm saying? I got instances where things would have been different, but then when I look back on them and I think about where I'm at in my life right now, I understand that some of the things that I love and adore and appreciate right now would not exist. And I wouldn't feel the way that I feel about them had I had a different path. So I don't regret any of that. I think it was the same conversation we had with the young lady the other day, just saying that what you've gone through to be who you are today is everything that you need to be to go forward. It was with the young lady yesterday when she was talking about her self-esteem. So absolutely, I get it. Tammy says, I tell my workers, never look at glass from the side and think it's full. Always look from the top, because the side is a distraction. That's what's up. That's a different way of that analogy. When I look at stuff, I look at it from the aspect of, I don't envy another man's girl, because all I could think about is all the stuff they went through to get to a place to where they are, and I'm not equipped to travel that with, you know what I'm saying? To travel that. There's a cost with everything, there's a training period. there's some, you never know what someone has to deal with as a result of being with that other person. So I ain't never envied that. Like, yeah, you see somebody that's fly and attractive and all that, but that first thought to go through, I see it and then I'd be like, bet that motherfucker's a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, oh my God, like, and don't be an attractive person with a nasty attitude. Oh man, I'd be like, dodge the bullet. I'd be like, goodness. You know what I'm saying? That's why you have to be, your experiences should not harden you. For those who said their past is in the way of what they want going forward, it should not harden you in your heart. In fact, it should make you more intelligent and wiser about the moves that you make going forward. Those lessons are blessings. You know what I mean? And you can't look at them. They shouldn't cost you your future. That's all. You know what I mean? It should not cost you your future. People who are holding on to the past are living that past over and over in their future. You can't do that. Release that stuff and watch us and elevate to the next place you got to get to. Super simple. All of it usually is. All of it is usually simple. But most times we're too close to it. You were too close to see it how it's supposed to be seen. I always use the analogy about being too close to the elephant, trying to see everything. You got to back up. And sometimes you need other people to help you do that. Sometimes you need other people to help you do that. Yeah, Julietta, and you only get emotional intelligence when you're in and you put yourself in a position where you have to use your emotions. I tell you that if you're going to fall in love, fall all the way in love so that when you break your heart or whatever happens, you've done it at the highest level that you could have done it at, and you could learn all the lessons on the way down. But if you got one foot in and one foot out and you're trying to talk about emotions and all that, then you've already cheated yourself out of the experience that you were meant to have. And so there's going to be little for you to learn when you should have learned a lot. We're cooking with grease right now, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who are on the YouTube channel, let me do something. For on my TikTok channel, we got a live goal up. I didn't put it in front of y'all face right quick. Let me do that. We got a live goal up right now. Appreciate everybody who supports that. On YouTube, we have a super chat that y'all can get, a super sticker on there as well. I appreciate everybody for supporting the channel. This has been a conversation about creative and relationships, and I think there are a few things that you guys can take away from it that might benefit you. Again, one of the cool things about having this conversation on YouTube is you can go back and you can clip some of the comments and points in this conversation that you might want to share with your friends or have for yourself or do something like that. It's available for you all to be a voice for somebody else who needs it. Y'all know somebody who is dealing with these different things, and sometimes they need to hear it doubled down from somebody else. Sometimes they tired of hearing you say it, but when somebody from the outside who doesn't even know them can give them and help shape that vision or that thing that they're dealing with a little bit better, it's always a help. That's why that's the reason why y'all send memes to people. You know what I'm saying? You'll send them, say, you got to look at this or listen to this. And somebody is saying something that's effective in it. You know what I mean? Tammy said, who's dating celebrities? Yeah, I'm on YouTube right now, Royal. My YouTube is up right now, I'm on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook at the same time. Right here, and then right here we're on TikTok. Yeah, you know what I mean. I keep TikTok on, but eventually, we're gonna gravitate over to YouTube because the experience is just so much better, and I can post some of the people's comments when they say it, and it's pretty cool. It's a different experience. But I just got to get. Did that happen? Let me see. Show chat. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, people just got to know how to support on that channel. Everybody knows how to support on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? It's about supporting on YouTube. It's youtube.com/ICGREEN and the numeric 1. So IC Green and the numeric 1. youtube.com/ICGREEN and the numeric 1. We've been on for an hour and a half on YouTube, and the podcast has been on for like an hour and 20 minutes. So, but we've been live. Yeah, Foxy, we got music coming. Get your hand off my back, woman. Get your hand off my back. I'm switching over to TikTok now. Yeah, Lavetta, we'll be over on TikTok in about 10 minutes. We'll be on TikTok at I just saw you just now. We'll be on TikTok at 1:00. But you're answering me on YouTube. I'm getting nervous. You over there. I'm on both. I'm reading both. You know what I'm saying? That's how we kind of, that's how the conversation continues. But tonight was I enjoy these conversations because every now and again we get some really, really dope takeaways. And I know everybody who was in the live is going to take away the question joint. How long have you thought about that? You know what I'm saying? It's a great way for you to get your balance and to have a really meaningful conversation. A real meaningful conversation with whoever is asking you those questions. I'm not big on answering questions on the spot. You know what I'm saying? Shalulu, what's up, baby? I'm not used to doing that anymore. It was something that I used to do, and it used to cause more concern and more issues because we were having conversations based off of somebody else's moment to have them. I've been hearing that, Crystal. So, I'll do a poll or something and see, does everybody enjoy having these conversations often? Because there's a lot to talk about. We're evolving. We're always relating and needing to relate to one another. And I'm going to open up on YouTube only, though. I'm going to open up the opportunity for guests to come up and ask questions. So you don't have to type it all in all the time. I'm going to, for certain shows, for certain topics, I'm going to open up the conversation tab. And what it is I'll send out a code or whatever that you use to get on there. Yeah, so to be talk on YouTube, I like that. That's exactly what I'm imagining, Julietta, because they won't let me do music on YouTube. So to be talk on YouTube and music on TikTok. What up, PYT? I see you. K Camp, got you. You locked in. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, do so now. The Stacy had posted what it was, IC Green 1. If you're on YouTube and you're in my live right now, for those of you who don't know what it is, so just so y'all can see it, tell me. I want to make sure y'all can see it, and y'all ain't got to use it right now, but let me know. Next to the smiley face where it says chat, do you guys see a dollar symbol? That's funny, Tammy. Give me a year to answer that. Do you guys see the square box with the dollar sign next to it? Does anybody see that on YouTube? Stacy said yes. Okay. So when you press that, it's going to give you some options, right? Super stickers. I'm going to press it right now. I'm doing it with y'all. Super stickers are what throughout the chat that you do. They all have different denominations or whatever. Those are kind of like the things that we do on TikTok as well. And then there's another one called Super Chat. So a Super Chat is whatever you do, the time limit will stay on there a little bit longer. So if you see it, you can use the scroll wheel and determine how long you want your comment to stay up. Yep, there you go. You got it. Yep. There is memberships on there now. I've got a few members, and they give me some membership-only stuff to do on there. Miss Cognita said it's a heart. Not next to the heart. The heart is a plus symbol next to that, and then next to that should be a box with a dollar sign on it. You see it? And then that brings up another menu. Says show support for IC Green. You see it? And I understand it's besides the comment bar. So where you comment at to type in, you'll see it. And that's if you're on YouTube. You could be on something else, but that's when you're on YouTube. What up, Miss Incognito? I see you. Okay, cool. All right. So if anybody at any point wants to support the channel that way, you can do that. We're getting off here now. We're about to get off it now, so you don't have to, participate in that. It's something that people do when the live starts, or for instance, if somebody, there was a quote that you wanted to have up there or remembered or whatever, you would do that, or if it was something you wanted to say or that kind of thing. And the other reason why I've seen people use it is when the chat starts becoming very busy. When the channel grows and we have, 100, 200 people in the live, it's going to be very difficult to read the comments. I'll be able to slow it down to try to read everybody's comments. That gives me the ability to slow the chat down. But then also there are ways for everybody should be hitting the heart symbol too to like the channel. But it also gives you the opportunity to have your comment absolutely highlighted at the top, and everybody can read your comment over and over. Anyway, amazing conversation tonight. For those of you who are on the official IC Green, I have to do an official post for Dwight Skrapp Rentals, so everybody knows I'm not getting on that account until maybe the second week of January. I'm gonna see if I can't get that, if I can't shake that, shake the BS off, whatever's going on with my account where the followers are always low. For those of you who are new here, my follower count when I go live is usually 600, 700 people or more. And they have been throttling it for a while, and we thought we could work through it, but this has been since November 16th and it hasn't changed. So I logged off of it completely. I will not be logging on to Dwight Skrapp Reynolds until I feel like they've reformed it or done something different and gave me a clean slate to start over and have the amazing engagement that I'm used to having. Not that I don't love everybody who's here and shows up regularly. I think, we've cultivated the community that's really dope, and which is why the official IC Green is where we'll be at, where we're not getting throttled as much. I'm noticing it's been a little bit, but we don't get a lot of it. And I don't even understand why they even brought that. Anyway, don't get me started. Anyway, Patricia, I see you just joining right now. I'm going to log off so I can get back on in 2 minutes. So for everybody who's on YouTube, I appreciate y'all. Remember, y'all can always comment, and you can go back and watch the videos. You can share the videos. You can clip parts of the video as well for anything that you thought might be effective and cool for somebody. Yep, you did. So that's something else to be conscious of too. So I'm going live on the official IC Green on my TikTok channel in a moment. I'll see y'all soon.